This is the story of Westside Gunn versus WWE. And my source is Cage Side Seats and his Twitter feed. So, anyway. Can you guys hear me? Perfect. I like the mic close, but I don't like the mic in the camera. Oh, you gave me 1 second earlier. Okay. You said give me 1 second earlier, Arrow. Okay. You know, I forget half the stuff I say, so I apologize. Okay. Alright, welcome back, guys. So, we're gonna cover a little drama in the wrestling group. And we're gonna cover the story involving hip-hop wrestling culture, copyright, and a relationship that's been quietly bubbling for years and finally detonated in the past couple of months. Maybe even years, to be honest. That sassy smile, though. Thank you. We're talking about Westside Gunn, a so-called rap icon who's loved wrestling more publicly than any mainstream artist alive, and yet somehow find himself kicked out of Raw and forced to serve severe ties with WWE completely. So before we break it down, let me just play this video. I'm going to say fair use. I should say fair use, right? Fair use, Westside Gunn. I'm going to share your story.
What's your name? Mark Brenner. Mark Brenner kicked me out of Monday Night Raw on my $5,000 seat. For no reason. All these people in here. I need to know. What's your name?
Mark Brenner.
Mark Brenner kicked me out of Monday Night Raw on my $5,000 seat. For no reason. All these people in here.
So he basically, when was it? On March 3rd of this year in Buffalo, New York, Monday Night Raw, he was kicked out. They didn't give him a reason. They just kicked him out. $5,000 seat. He was somewhere in ringside. $5,000. You know, that's some heavy-ass cheddar. Anyway, so let's go to the image. Yeah, so that's basically him getting kicked out. Let me zoom in for those that can't see him. That is Westside Gunn. And that was the guy that you saw in the video. He pretty much was told to leave. So, if you don't know Westside Gunn, you know he has some influence. He's arguably done more for modern wrestling crossover, apparently, than any hip-hop than anyone since the Attitude Era. For years, he's had sample wrestling promos and moments in his music. He's used wrestlers and wrestling imagery on album covers. He sat on front row, as he knows, at WWE and AEW shows. He's shown up at AEW Grand Slam in New York City in the past few years. He's promoted wrestling culture to his entire audience. He's a big fan, after all. And most recently, he launched his own wrestling promotion that had an event at Six Flags Great Adventures called Fourth Rope Wrestling. He didn't just talk wrestling. He lived wrestling. But that passion hasn't always lined up with WWE's rules. And that's where the problem lies. So, this is where it gets a little tricky. So according to Cage Side Seats and Griselda Records, which is the record company that works with this guy, WWE has been sending Westside Gunn takedown notices on the stuff that he's been using of WWE's as early as 2022. Why? Because Gunn, being a lifelong fan, used WWE's intellectual property in his album artwork, his merch, his music content, his promotional images. Now, to some wrestling fans, obviously this is harmless tribute, but obviously to WWE, if you don't get permission to use it, it is a legal department issue. It's copyright infringement. So while Gunn saw it as promoting WWE, WWE saw it as using our IP without permission. So there's been he's not the only music artist that's used wrestlers or wrestling as an inspiration. Bad Bunny, as I know, is one of them, but I'm pretty sure Bad Bunny asked permission. And not only that, Bad Bunny has worked physically in matches for WWE. He loves the company too, but he's done permission. So apparently, according to WWE, and according to Cage Side Seats and Griselda Records, he's never asked permission to use their IP. So if obviously that's gonna ruffle feathers, especially WWE. You know WWE. You play music that is WWE. You play videos that's WWE on YouTube. You get snapped like that. You get copyright infringement on Facebook, or YouTube, or Twitch, or whatever. They're careful now more than ever since TKO is owning it. So while Gunn saw it as anyway, still none of this stopped Gunn from showing love. He kept sampling since 2022. He kept attending shows. He kept bringing wrestling culture into hip hop. But the tension was there. Now, do I have any other crazy things to show? Yeah, that's him. Let me just put the picture of him there. So, then came March 3rd, 2025, Monday Night Raw in Buffalo. Gunn, a Buffalo native, attended the show and said he was kicked out, as he saw in the video, for what he described as nothing more than respectful promotion of WWE. No details have been made public on why he was kicked out. WWE has said nothing, no statement, no explanation. What is confirmed is this: Westside Gunn is one of WWE's loudest supporters, was physically removed from the building. That's all we know. We don't know why. We don't know if it's tied to this whole copyright infringement, but it is something to be aware of potentially why he could have been kicked out. So this was the moment things shifted from rocky relationship to full-off fracture, and then without knowing it, Gunn unknowingly made things worse for himself after that. In April, Gunn released, hilariously, because as soon as I say this, people are going to laugh. In April, Gunn released a 3-part album series trilogy called The Heels Have Eyes. Not The Hills Have Eyes. The Heels Have Eyes. Sorry, guys. I had to take a moment because for some people that are in this chat, you know what why I'm smirking a little bit. So yes, let me pull it up. So yes, this was the 3rd part that he promoted, but it's called The Heels Have Eyes. I shit you not. So he released a 3-part cover album. The first part being released on April, that included a cover of Ted DiBiase. Part 2, which was released afterwards, I think sometime in the summer, included a picture of Ted DiBiase's bodyguard back in the day, Virgil. And then part 3, which was starting to get promotion in the fall, was a cover that was going to have both of them. So there you go. This is in New York City. Westside Gunn, Heels Have Eyes, Part 3. So now, Ted DiBiase and Virgil are public figures, but using their likeness, especially in gear or imagery connected to the WWE property, is legally tricky. And if WWE already had issues with him prior to this, these covers were pretty much gasoline on fire. So between March and November, WWE reportedly sent more takedown demands, apparently, according to Cage. Gunn didn't push back publicly until this week, November 8th. When I mean this week, I meant November 8th, because our good man goes on a Twitter rant. You know, I'm going to tell you, you guys, people need to stop going on Twitter. I'm just going to check. Do I have an image of the rant? Yeah, let's go with this one instead. All right. On November 8th... For November 8th, Gunn went on a major rant on X where he finally opened up about the entire situation in his eyes. No pun intended. His love for WWE, his history promoting them, his frustration with takedown notice, his confusion at being kicked out of Raw, his inability to use wrestlers on covers anymore, and his plan to stop endorsing WWE together. So, Within hours of posting, Gunn took down or replaced the album covers with new ones featuring the Fourth Rope Wrestling talent instead. So he took down that poster that you saw before, and this is part of his tweet. I was going to show you more, but unfortunately after this image, he shows the photo of the Fourth Rope Wrestling talent that he's using to promote, and they're all bloodied, and I don't feel like showing that on the stream because I don't want to get this stream taken down because I show blood. So, and I didn't feel like graying it out. So you're not going to see it. If you guys want to see it, just look up Westside Gunn on X and you will see the images. It's very bloody. It's basically a front face photo of the wrestler dripping blood, like he just came from a barbed wire match for all we know. So he says, before I say this, just know God is the greatest. For years, I mean, nobody with 2 feet has spent the amount of money I have supporting and pushing a brand I've loved since I could remember. I sat from front row at every big show, literally. All the good times it brought to my life, to the point when I started making music, I incorporated in everything like Wu-Tang did karate. The difference is, though, with that statement, Wu-Tang promoted karate, the sport and the discipline of karate. If you are the same, you would promote wrestling in general, not WWE. You are promoting a brand. So that's why you got in trouble. Allegedly. I made people who hated the product watch it again. Did you? I don't remember. I didn't know about you until now. I made it look cool with a K. Cool with a K. You know he's serious when he says cool with a K. When at the time people thought it was nerdy, I watched that same company sit countless of people next to me who's not even fans for real and act like I didn't exist. I was threatened to take everything out of my music, which I only did to pay homage, or my whole catalog will be demolished, and everybody knows how hard I work coming from Buffalo for me to get that threat for just supporting and being a real fan. Hurted me, but I stayed quiet and still like a crazy man. Wow, he doesn't like the letter C. Sat front row because I love the culture. I even just went viral for spending $50,000 on sweets. On my soul, I've only been respectful. I tried having conversations with one individual because he's causing all of these unnecessary cases, and to be honest, he hated seeing a young black successful entrepreneur that could afford those seats and have to watch those chains dance across the screen, to the point Monday Night Raw starts at 8 p.m. I was kicking out by 8:03 after spending $5,000 for a seat plus travel, hotel, etc. in my own city for absolutely nothing. No lie, the kid in me heart broke that day. I put the billboard up, that $1 Million Man billboard up, which he loves, and I wanted to push him in the culture because he deserves it, and to show Virgil love for the culture. I get letter saying, so I said, what I'm a show love only to the people that show love to me from now on. Smart man. So you don't have to worry about me pushing that product over there again. And it's sad because I still love them, but I have my own company, Fourth Rope. And yeah, we're the underdogs, but we love this stuff. It's not about money. We're going to keep pushing culture, and I'm honored to have Josh Bishop, which is the man on that image, on the trilogy cover because he deserves it for believing in me from day one as my first official wrestler. Damn. They showed off old martial art movies in the video and made sure to credit it. There you go. He might have credited too, don't get me wrong. Westside Gunn probably credited WWE, but the problem is we are in a tighter lawsuit era. WWE is very protective of their brand. Maybe martial art movies are not. They want to be promoted because they don't get as much exposure as WWE. So I feel it's a little different, and he didn't see it that way, maybe. So this letter wasn't just a rant. It was basically for him closure in his end. This was Westside Gunn letting the world know, I'm done trying to support a company that doesn't support me. Hey, just because you throw a lot of money to them, that doesn't mean they'll support you. It's the sad truth. Business is business. In that same rant, Gunn stated he was finished promoting and endorsing WWE. Think about the impact of that. Westside Gunn has flown across the world for shows. One bought WWE merch proudly, brought wrestlers to mainstream audiences, boosted WWE popularity in hip hop culture, given free promotion through albums, features, interviews, which WWE didn't ask for. WWE never asked for, hey, Westside Gunn, can you promote my stuff? Like, he did stuff without asking. He played the card, it's better to ask for forgiveness than ask permission. Unfortunately, in this situation, when it comes to a big company like WWE, you are going to get screwed if you don't ask for permission. Look, homosexual money at Rangers for cozying. Yeah, exactly. He thought he got co-signed. This is an example of a co-signer. There you go. He thought he got co-signed by spending $50,000 on this and that. It doesn't mean anything. I'm sorry. They took your money and ran with it. And you let it happen. And I feel bad for him because, yeah, he probably has good music. I'm sure he's a great artist, but he should have... This is a business. He should have treated it as a business transaction, the same way other artists do it, the same way Logan Paul does it. Not only Logan Paul, as much as people hate him, Logan Paul is being involved in wrestling. He's been able, since he got his involved, he's able to connect his podcast with WWE to get even more of a reach. He's able to get Prime, his Prime drink involved in WWE, which gets, again, more reach, but it's through mutual working together. Same thing with Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny got involved. He did his own thing. He didn't ask much, Bad Bunny. He just wanted to be involved. And he got them into Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico sold out for that Backlash that year. And people loved it. It's one of the greatest moments for both Damian Priest and Bad Bunny's career. You got to play the game if you want to be involved that way. He didn't ask for permission. If it's true he didn't ask for permission, which he hasn't defended at any of these statements, he never defended that fact that he did. All sale primes are down, yeah, because it's garbage. Even though he got promoted through WWE, I'm not saying the drink is great. It's still garbage. I drink it, though. Not as much anymore. Because after a while, it's the same flavor. So I just drink other stuff now. I am not like Asmongold, who just drinks soda, by the way. I drink tea. Yeah. My friend, one of my co-workers, brought me a Prime from London because it was a unique flavor that got sold here. It tastes the same way as one of them here. It tastes like the moon whatever. Moon drink. Same flavor. If it's a weird branded drink of Prime, it's the moon drink. Anyway, let's end this one right here. Here's the key detail about this situation. Even though all of these issues exist, these are not confirmed to be the reasons why he was kicked out of Raw. Although he got kicked out of Raw, we still haven't gotten confirmation of why he got kicked out. It's all assumption at this point that it's tied to all this copyright stuff. So we don't know why. I don't know why. Cage Fight doesn't know. Cage Side doesn't know. No one knows. Only WWE knows at this point why they kicked Westside Gunn out. So, so for the timeline, WWE sends Takedown in 2022. Gunn continues promoting them anyway. Gunn creates a Fourth Rope Wrestling. WWE reportedly tightened their stance. Gunn attends Raw in Buffalo. He gets removed. Releases album again, even after that release. Not wondering why it happened. Or finding out why before he releases this trilogy album. Gets Takedown noticing again. He snaps publicly, and now he's doing something else. So, yeah. The love celebrities wearing belts on Instagram. The love fans making viral content. They love exposure when it benefits them. That's what WWE likes. But when someone uses their IP, even respectfully, even out of love, they enforce copyright very aggressively. I should know. Because I did a passion project a few years ago, streaming-wise, that has some little IPs of WWE, and I got some of those videos taken down. Even though it was a passion project similar to this guy. I learned my lesson then. So, As someone who just started doing streaming, I learned very quickly about that. So Westside Gunn's entire career has been a love letter to wrestling, but love doesn't override legal departments. And that's the core conflict here. It's an irony. Wrestlers today embrace the aesthetic Gunn pioneered, but unfortunately, it doesn't mean anything. So, anyway, Westside Gunn helped build his space through wrestling, but now he can't even attend Raw without being kicked out. It's the most backward version of don't bite the hand that feeds you, except in this case, the hand wasn't feeding him, he was feeding them. So, anyway, is WWE wrong for what they did? Is Gunn wrong for what he did? Or is this simply an inevitable collision between artistic freedom and corporate control? Let me know your thoughts, what you think happened, and I'll see you on the next video.